Hello everyone, it's Jess here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to walk you guys through how I painted the next 8 paintings of my series while answering the questions that I have missed last week. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I began a brand new personal art series called Fruit Heads, and I've been doing 1 painting per day for the whole month of October. It's definitely been a challenge, but still going strong. Last week's video, I asked you guys on my community tab and on Instagram to ask me some questions that you're curious to know about, so today I'm going to continue to answer them. This video is week 3 and part 3 of the art series videos, so if you've missed any of the previous videos from the last 2 weeks, I will be sure to link them in a playlist below or up top so you can catch up and check them out. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so you don't miss out on any new videos. And speaking of videos, I have recently launched my Patreon page, so if you'd like to see unedited, long, exclusive videos every month, check out my Patreon page where you can look at some tiers that I offer with benefits each month. Alright, so let's continue with our Q&A. So someone asked how many hours I spend creating or painting or drawing every day, and whether or not I have a daily sketching or drawing routine. Absolutely. So each day and week matters depending on what I'm doing that week for art. But to give you an example, for this art series, I'm designating the whole morning until the afternoon and a little bit over lunchtime to create the painting. So as soon as I'm up, I get to painting. I then take a break around 12 o'clock to quickly eat lunch, and then I get straight back into painting until it's complete. When I first started the series, it took me about 6 to 8 hours to complete each painting. I take a few days ahead of time to plan the sketches so that I have the upcoming fruit ready to go. So technically those hours are included. And then now recently, after I've been painting 1 per day, I realized that I'm getting quicker and faster to my painting processes, so I'm able to actually finish a complete painting in almost like 3 to 4 hours, which is great. So I feel like I was drilling these out and they were a lot of fun, and I'm really excited that I got this to start. Prior to the series, I did designate a certain amount of time per day in my sketchbook since I think it's extremely important. And sometimes I would designate an hour or so to go outside and draw from life. Urban sketching is something that I rave by, and I really highly recommend it. You can also check out my sketchbook tours to see some drawings that I did from life. Alright, let's talk about the next question. What is your favorite color? Oh boy, this is definitely a hard one. I cannot decide. I guess my answer to that would be every day I have a different mood of a different color that I like. But ever since I was little, I've always liked different shades of blue. But I honestly love every color that exists, and I try to incorporate different color palettes into my work and experiment as much as possible. The next question is, how has your art practice or thought process changed over time? Or how did you decide which one of your pieces to elaborate into products, prints, and stickers? So as of right now, I definitely think that my art practice and thought process has changed dramatically over time. I think as artists we're always evolving and growing, so things are bound to change. But with that being said, I definitely think one thought process and practice led to the other, which helps you grow in different levels and different stages in your art. I definitely think before I was doing a lot of drilling and exercises through references where I would try to make the most realistic drawing, but now I definitely feel that I try to stylize a little bit and bring my own taste, and I try to be as creative as possible. I used to rely very heavily on reference and taking some pictures and then drawing them exactly to the picture. But now I realized I want to say something more with my art, so I definitely try to incorporate some concept and push composition and just make it a little bit more unique to me. Definitely takes a lot of time to figure out what your art practice is like and your thought process, but personally I found that one year after the other it benefited what my art is like to this day. Now let's talk about how I choose to decide what pieces to elaborate into my products in my shop, into prints and stickers. First off, I definitely take my fan suggestions. A lot of you guys just message me and request certain art to incorporate into prints. And speaking of which, a lot of you guys, the most ever, have been asking for the fruit head prints. So yes, they will be available shortly as soon as the series is over by the end of the month. But overall, I really try to focus on what you guys will love. I also think about the products that I love. I think about what I would want to be offered if I was buying art from somebody. And I also think about what is going to be the most efficient to make, because producing all the products takes a lot of time, especially the stickers. So I try to think about how I can efficiently use up my time as well as get them out to you guys as soon as possible. And lastly, I always think about what products and art would just simply make someone smile and enjoy to have it and spread it out to the world. All right, let's do the next question. When you were small or young, did you want to become an artist or did you have some other dream? Well, when I was young, I really did a lot of performing arts. I was actually doing dance professionally as well. I played tennis. I also did music and piano, so I was pretty occupied. And I loved drawing always and just anything that had to do with performing arts. So I definitely had a dream to do something with the arts. I was never able to decide between dance and art. It was actually a complete controversy for the longest time, but eventually I made a decision to stick with art and just pursue dance as a hobby for this on the side. And I started drawing as a hobby as well at a very young age, and I've actually, side note, just organized all of the drawings from when I was little, so hopefully I can share those with you guys soon. Alright, moving on to the next question. When did you realize that art is your passion? I think you realize that something is your passion when the moment that you are not doing it, you actually crave and miss it so much. So I definitely had the feeling of when I wasn't drawing or creating or painting, I would be itching to go and find a pencil and paper and draw. I guess there's a moment when you realize you want to live and breathe this activity that you do, and I am so happy that I get to do this every day, and I'm even more grateful to see results and be able to make a living out of it. And generally, your passion really lies in what you truly love to do. And I think I definitely realized that over time when I realized that I couldn't live without creating. Now let's talk about the next question. Do you ever have off days when that creative flow just ain't flowing? Well, I think we all have our on and off days where we have something working out more than another day. It's all part of the balance of life, but what's important is how you look at those days. I think I've definitely had them, but those days were the days where I learned the most, because some of the mistakes or things that you don't like will make you pick yourself back up just as fast and keep going. And as soon as I changed my thought process on how to handle these so-called off days, I don't seem to have them anymore, because I really like to stay positive and know that whatever is going on in that day and whatever I'm creating is for the best. And know that there are going to be pieces that you are going to create that are not going to be your complete favorites, but trust me, you will learn something in the end. Keep your head up, keep positive, and the off days will not be bad after all. And hey, maybe they'll disappear completely. And the next question that I'd like to talk about is, what is your advice for self-taught artists or young students who want to become artists? Well, for anyone who is a self-taught artist or young students, I definitely recommend to do a ton of research. There are so many resources online to find out more information. There are tons of websites and platforms where you can learn from other artists. So my advice would definitely be to look at as many artists online as you can to help decide on what path that you want to take. There are so many virtual classes you can take all over the internet, so I definitely think that investing in one or simply looking on YouTube videos can help you a long way. Do some research on art and see what artists that you gravitate towards. Write them down, create a list for yourself, and keep the artists there to help guide you as an inspiration. I also would advise not to get stuck on one way and experiment in as many ways as you can, because that way you can decide on what you love the most. I also advise always to draw from life and draw every day. Try to doodle, try to put something in front of you and draw it. Working on your skills is extremely important, and I think that the more skills you have in art or whatever you do, the better. If you are learning on your own at home, I definitely think that you should try to create a schedule for yourself and designate some time for research, some time for practicing, and some time for fun and just doodles, and try to experiment with your own imagination. There are plenty and plenty of options that you can take and experiment with. There are so many artists online that you can research, but it's all in your hands to do that, and know that you are in full control. The harder you work and the harder that you try to push yourself, the more results you will see. So I definitely have to say that that is my advice, especially if you're starting out or even if you are pursuing art professionally. I always like to end my videos with some really great advice, so I hope that this helped. And overall, generally, hard work is number one. So if you push yourself, if you practice and you keep going and stay positive and pursue your passion, things will begin to reveal themselves. I'm so glad I got to do another Q&A for you guys, and stay tuned for the next video that's coming next week. I've been loving doing the fruit heads. They've been super fun and have definitely pushed me outside my comfort zone. So I hope you find time today to do something outside of your comfort zone. Look at what you're currently best at and try to play around those skills. Or think about what you think you need work on and try to tackle that. The possibilities are endless, guys. But anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching and listening to today's video. I loved answering all your questions, and I hope to get back to Q&As soon. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, where you can catch all the finished pictures of these paintings, and comment below what you found helpful in today's video. I hope you have an awesome day or week wherever you are, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!